Hey friends, Peggy Hall here from thehealthyamerican.org, and I am back with Peggy to the Rescue. This is where I bring you the breaking news and all of the updates about your rights, your God-given rights, and the laws that protect those rights. I want to give you my tools against tyranny so that you can stand up for yourself and you can fight this oppression at every level. Listen, I did a video this morning for the Healthy American Morning. That is my show all about positivity and possibility. But I did veer into the socio-political things that are going on in our modern day. So if you wanted to catch that, watch the replay. And I am talking about the trucker convoy and a couple of other interesting things. You may not like that video, but I'll just give that to you as a little heads up. What I want to talk to you about today is another court ruling. And I want to clear this up for you because, again, there are so many misunderstandings and so many people are not willing to dig deeper. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to dig deeper and I'm going to bring to you exactly what that recent Supreme Court non-ruling meant, and I will help you make sense of that. Right now, I want to bring you a message from the sponsor of Peggy to the Rescue. I'm going to share my screen. We are going to go to keto with Peggy.com. And the message I have for you is about weight management, and it is a universal struggle. After we turn 20, this struggle becomes so much harder, and this is because our body's metabolism slows by about as much as 4% each decade. And this is why I highly recommend Keto with Peggy. It's an amazing powder that's helping me lose weight, more weight actually, in a shorter period of time than other things that I've tried. And much like the keto diet, it can help elevate levels of fat-burning ketones, and it helps to make my weight loss easier. So if you want to support your weight loss, you will love Keto with Peggy. Get up to 51% off for the next 24 hours by going to ketowithpeggy.com or click the link I will have for you below. Friends, let's talk about the headlines in the news related to the Supreme Court and religious exemptions. Many of you, and I'm so glad that you are on board with me for the Healthy American newsletter, and you email me, support@thehealthyamerican.org, and you're giving me comments here and on my Facebook page, my Instagram page, Telegram, and all of the other social media platforms where I am. And you're saying, Peggy, did you hear the Supreme Court has done away with religious exemptions? No, 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 and N-O. Friends, let me guide you through the reality. So what I'm going to do is share my screen again, and I am over here doing an internet search on DuckDuckGo, and all I typed in was Supreme Court religious exemption Maine, because this was going on in the state of Maine. And if all you do is read the headlines, I don't blame you. Of course, you're going to think that the Supreme Court has ruled that religious exemptions no longer exist. That's exactly what the media wants you to think. So here are just a couple. Oh, here's from Kaiser. How interesting. Supreme Court won't consider healthcare worker bid for religious vaccine exemption. U.S. Supreme Court rejects challenge to Maine. Oh, I can't believe I even said the V word. Oh my gosh, I rarely do. The U.S. Supreme Court spurns bid for religious opt-out from the rule. Yeah, now they're calling it the rule. The U.S. Supreme Court rejects the religious challenge to Maine. The same headline here. Supreme Court won't consider the healthcare worker bid. And here's another one. It just goes on and on and on. Supreme Court denies religious exemptions. Friends, those headlines are misleading. For the last, 2 years, I've been bringing you information all about your God-given rights and the laws that protect them. You have the right to your religious expression in this country. There is no law, no Supreme Court, no Maine, state of Maine, no school, no Kaiser, no United Airlines, no anyone has the right to prevent you from expressing your religious beliefs, observances, and practice, period. That is guaranteed by our Constitution, by additional federal laws, by additional state laws, and of course, just our own common sense. But those protections are guaranteed and secured by law. People are reading these headlines and not reading any further. Now, you as lovely, healthy Americans, you know how to dig deeper, don't you? I have been bringing you updates about United Airlines and OSHA and the CMS and other rulings that are in the headlines, and I'm showing you how to dig deeper. And I'm explaining very simply that these are not final rulings. So let me explain it once more. The bad guys want you, the good guys, to read the headline and then say, well, that's it. Religious exemptions are over. I'm not even going to apply for it. I'm never going to get it. I guess I'll have to get the cooties cure instead. That's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to fall into their evil trap. Are you going to fall for it? I hope not. So let's dig a little deeper, shall we? This is actually very simple. I don't even need to show you the court ruling because there was no court ruling. Let me set the stage for you. There is a lawsuit against the state of Maine for not accommodating and acknowledging the religious exemptions, right, for government agencies and so forth. And the state of Maine said, oh, no. We're only going to allow for medical exemptions. And if you are objecting to the cooties cure on religious grounds, tough luck. That's like saying, you know what? In the state of Maine, we don't care about sexual harassment. You can grope your coworkers on the job and no one's going to bat an eye. We've done away with sexual harassment on the job because we are tolerant and we think it's fine if somebody wants to grope you on the job. Because in Maine, we don't recognize sexual harassment. Oh, you're a person with white skin? Well, we don't hire white people anymore. No, in Maine, we don't hire white people. We just decided to create our own laws. You see, all of that is illegal. So because it's illegal, there's a lawsuit stating that this is illegal. And when there is a lawsuit, there's a dispute. You are saying, we want this, and the other side is saying, we want this. Or this side, the plaintiff is saying, you're violating my rights or you broke the law. And this, the respondent, the one that's being sued, is saying, no, we didn't, and you can't make me. There's a dispute. That's a lawsuit. Now, the lawsuit has to be argued in court, or it will be settled outside of court in a mediation, or the case will be dropped, something along those lines. There will be some type of conclusion to this dispute. Are you following me? I think you're following me. In a lawsuit, there's going to be discovery, there's going to be evidence, there's going to be witnesses, there's going to be testimony, there's going to be cross-examination, there's going to be motions, and these lawsuits often can take years, right? So during the course of the lawsuit, the plaintiffs can make a motion for a preliminary injunction. What does that word preliminary mean? It means not final. It's just an emergency. It's at the beginning. An injunction is to stop, knock it off, halt, stop doing what you're doing, all right? They have asked for a preliminary injunction in the state of Maine, and they said, oh, no, we're not going to give you that preliminary injunction. We don't believe that that you have proven the merits of the case. This case needs to be argued in court, and we are not going to grant you this preliminary action of requiring Maine to continue to acknowledge and accommodate religious exemptions. So the plaintiffs now sent that to the Supreme Court and said, we want you to look at our merits, and we want you, the Supreme Court, to issue a preliminary injunction. Are you following me? The Supreme Court didn't even listen to the case. They said, we're not even going to review the case. We're not going to give you a preliminary injunction. We're not going to review the case because it's still being argued in court. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm on a repetitive video here. Like I'm just playing it over and over and over. This is what I've been saying for days on end, weeks on end, months on end. Would you stop reading the headlines? You've got to dig deeper. The lawsuit is still being carried out. The Supreme Court didn't do away with religious exemptions. It did nothing of the sort. It didn't even hear the case. I got to stop now before I flip my lid. So are you understanding where we're coming from? So I'm sure it's not you, healthy Americans, that are sending me these links saying the Supreme Court has done away with religious exemptions, because my husband, Pastor David, and I have helped 5 million people possibly through our free videos. We have 5 million views on our YouTube channel. And then that each view could mean somebody else helped somebody else helped somebody else. We have helped millions of people learn about their rights, their God-given rights, and the protections for those rights. There's no such thing as religious exemptions don't exist. And let me read this to you right now. I've got so much to share with you. All right. Dear Peggy and Pastor David, my name is a healthy American. I live in Maryland, and I'm so grateful for you both. I wanted to write to you for several reasons, and I wanted to say thank you. I found your YouTube channel in October when I was being forced to get the jab for my job. I work for a government contractor. Back then, I thought I had no other choice but to follow along, even though I was completely against it. I had researched plenty, but I was still scared to death. I've been a Christian my whole life, and I didn't think there was any way, even so, to apply for my religious exemption. I had 1 week left to turn in my exemption letter. Through a lot of stress, prayer, tears, and fear, I figured that I would search online for how to write up my exemption letter, and your channel on YouTube showed up. At that point, I was nearing 18 years at my company, and I did not want to quit, so my only option was to try the exemption. I can't believe how much information you gave me for free, both legal education to include, as well as what to mention and not to mention. I ended up writing such a good legal religious exemption letter and submitted it to my company. They did come back with additional questions, but I had no problem answering them thanks to the education you gave me. I waited anxiously for about a week, and I was told that it was approved. I immediately thought of you, and I was grateful to God that I found you online, and I could not have succeeded without your advice. Thank you for helping an unknown stranger. And she goes on to say that now she's signed up for peggyhall.tv, and she said, your YouTube channel is different from any others that I've found. Number one, you speak the truth with positivity, and that is what people need to hear. And number two, your channel discusses religion and how God is here. I enjoy listening to you speak and tell your stories and encourage people. It is so rare and refreshing, and I thank you for just being you. Your site is such a refreshing change to politics and negativity. And she continues on with a very devastating personal story, which I'm going to keep private, but I'm going to write to her. I read all the letters that you send me, friends. The address to reach me is here in the description box. So don't give up. The bad guys want you to give up. That's why these stories are planted in the news. I could go on and on with this page of, as I did, these headlines. And if you just look at the headlines, oh, the Supreme Court rejects their bid for religious exemption. The Supreme Court decides against it. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It never even heard the case. It said that the lower court is going to be hearing the case and ruling on it. Now, this one is true. The Supreme Court won't review the religious challenge to Maine. That is true. It did not reject the religious exemptions. I am so disgusted with anyone who works for these media outlets that, and they continue to spew out these lies. It's absolutely reprehensible, and it is evil. So let's see what say you. Thank you, everybody, for being on board. Thank you, my moderators, Rhonda. And what I want to do is I'm going to hop off. I'm going to hop right back on, and I want to bring you more good news at the university level. Many of you have written to me asking for help because you are going to nursing school, and the nursing schools are telling you that they're going to accommodate you, but the clinical sites will not. I've got an amazing multi-page letter that I want to share with you. Those of you that are on the Concierge Program, you will have access to that. Those of you that are not on the Concierge Program, what in the world? You need to get on there with me. And here we go. The Concierge is where you can get my personal help. And if you are asking questions in the comments right now, you can either get my help for free by doing the religious exemption playlist, or you can go here and hop on board with the Concierge, and or if you want a personal phone call with me and Pastor David, you can do the VIP program. Now, these are all of the calls that we're doing for February. You get all of them. You get the links. You get all of the resources. For example, a detailed letter all about being exempt from everything. And we don't put words in your mouth. We educate you as to the law. And then we will look at your documents. We will review them. How to appeal if you're denied. You get all of these calls. You get all of the January calls, and you got all of the December calls. I do not know of anyone providing this information at the level that we are. We actually have attorneys going through our program, and I'm so encouraged to know that these attorneys want to learn about their Title VII rights. And you as healthy Americans and you as employees and college students are so much better educated than your HR and even the legal teams in these arenas. So I want you to have this knowledge that is going to last you a lifetime. Friends, I'm going to hop off and I'm going to hop right back on with a bonus Peggy to the rescue to tell you all of this good news, more success stories, and I don't want you to give up. Stop reading the headlines. Dig deeper. In fact, don't even read the headlines. Just join me here every afternoon, 4 p.m., Peggy to the rescue. We do the deep dive, and we are going to be continuing to turn the tide against this tyranny. See you soon, everybody, in the very